Yeah, I think that's a really important point. I think it's important to invest according to what your interests are and things that you understand. How important is it to pay attention to world events and to consume a lot of what's going on in the news so that you actually have, I guess, a basic line of general knowledge upon which to make decisions? Where do you guys sort of get your news from, and do you think that that's an important thing to do if you're investing?
You go.
We're both watching each other's faces. I think it's really important to stay across the news. I think at the end of the day, companies are such a huge part of society. And, you look at companies now, you look at the likes of Tesla or Amazon or Apple, and they pretty much have the same kind of power as what governments do. So staying across the news is, really important to understand what trends are going to affect these companies, what political events might affect these companies, I guess where the markets are moving. And it does seem a bit daunting sometimes to be across the news, but I think Mads and I have found you can listen to a 5-minute podcast every day, or you can scan the news every day. It doesn't need to be intensive, and you'll start to get the understanding of those general trends.
Yeah, I think some of the resources that we probably go to the most are daily news podcasts. So the Squiz, the Daily Oz, FT News Briefing, those kinds of things. And then we both read the AFR. And then I also love reading, I guess, I don't know quite how to phrase it. I love reading books that are set in a place or set at a time that allow you to and it might be, I'll give you my example to make it make a lot more sense. I recently read a book called Red Notice, and it is about Putin in Russia, and it gave incredible insight into the kind of leader he is, and I guess some insight into what Russia is like. So I think, stepping back from news specifically a little bit, and I remember Emma Fisher saying this as well. She read Mao's Last Dancer and learnt so much about Chinese culture. And I think that's another really cool way to think about learning in that respect, is actually through reading, I guess, stories, but really taking in and learning about the culture and learning about different countries as well.
Yeah, I really like that advice, because I think the news is often so polarized around a particular story. For example, Russia and Ukraine, everything going on there. And it's often lots of, I guess, not trying to scare people, but it's all based on getting clicks and clickbait and everything like that. Whereas some of those books that you can dive a little bit deeper into, you can get an understanding of the cultures behind these countries, why they make the sorts of decisions they make, and in that sense also how their businesses are run. So I think that's, I guess, a piece of advice that a lot of people don't normally hear. And I think it could have a lot of value.